South Korean artist Young-Jun Tak is here in Istanbul to display his installation at the Istanbul Modern Arts Museum for the upcoming 15th edition of the Istanbul Biennial. Now, the Biennial begins in a couple of days during Art Week, but now we're going to take a sneak peek into Young-Jun's work as he joins me here in the studio today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
The piece of yours is an actual replica of your home back in Seoul. And it came off as a very personal piece to me. So I'm really curious of the story behind it and the message you want to convey to people visiting your art.
Yeah, this new project is titled as The Silence and Eloquence of Object. And it's sort of homage to dislike and hatred of the places I lived, in Seoul especially. Yeah. Because I actually didn't really like the places I lived in South Korea, especially the ones I rented for myself. They were very ugly, scrappy, and tiny.
And this installation is of the one.
Yeah, it's actually
rented.
my second flat in Seoul where I lived for 2 years. And but somehow, because of the poor housing condition, maybe I forced myself to go out to discover more about this neighborhood and surrounding environment. And also, even thanks to that, I could go to visit more exhibitions and go to meet more art people. So somehow it structured the current me. So I decided to convert one of my flat into a whole artwork. Place like Seoul, the big metropolitan city, including Istanbul, young people live with this kind of poor housing condition. So I also had to choose just very cheap furniture. I couldn't really think about very nice interior or some beautiful furniture, cozy ambience, and so on. So it compiled up with this kind of very kind of simple and cheap furniture. So it kind of shows that how I lived in that place.
So your installation that you made is all white.
Yes.
But from my understanding, you use different techniques within the installation.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's not only just white. Actually, I made some very painterly expressive surface structure with acrylic paste first, and then I covered the whole entire surface in white acrylic paint. So when I was actually painting the entire surface in white in Istanbul Modern, which is also a white cube, so it was kind of erasing this, existence, because it's a white space in another bigger white space. But also because I was giving this very strong expressive brush stroke, so every single brush stroke was giving its own identity more and more. So I thought it corresponds to the notion of home as well. Because maybe for some people, home can be still something very settled and stable. But for me, what I have experienced so far regarding that concept is more like fluidity. Because of the city's gentrification, I had to move in and out a lot of this kind of a small room-like apartment, which is called actually one room in Korean.
So tell me about the process of making this installation. It seems as if while you were making it, you went through so many emotions and hardships. Maybe not, maybe you did. Tell me more about the emotions that you came across while making it and actually installing it here.
Yeah, well, actually, it was even my assistant for this project told me it's not really making artwork. It's more kind of designing and house interior, because it was actually, placing and arranging this actual furniture onto the ceiling. So yeah, it was kind of moving into another space. But it was a completely different experience, because when I actually did this moving in Seoul, I didn't have that many belongings, and like it was very like portable and easy to carry object. So I got a help from just one single friend or sometimes my parents. But this time, it was like if you try to fight against the gravity, everything becomes kind of problem. Because like to fix a single small rice cooker to like a kitchen counter, you need to make some special system inside, something like that. But so I had to get a lot of help from like professional engineers and like some production team and actually some the museum's own production team. So it was like kind of inviting more like neighbors around me and a lot of people around me. So I've never experienced actually when I lived there, I didn't invite that many people there. So it was kind of collaborating all together.
So it was a very lengthy and hard process.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
sum it all up.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it was a pleasure having you on Showcase today.
Okay, thank you very much.